And we're back. Hi everyone, my name is Jem, and today we are going to reload the Shane Dawson Podcast episode 6, where we find out more about Chris than we ever wanted to know. Now, while I maintain that Shane and Chris haven't always been as close as they are now, even though they've known each other for a long time, I'm not gonna let them rewrite history and pretend to be BFFs of 10 years. But we'll let them change the narrative for now, but believe me when I tell you, we will be circling back to their supposed long-time friendship all in due time. But in today's episode, we are going to examine why having a boss as your friend will put a strain in your work environment and your supposed friendship. This will be a cautionary tale.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Can we do the whole podcast in oh my god?
Oh my god. Dan Pervin facts.
We're gonna do recap.
That was the worst moment of my life.
I don't think I'm versed in this language.
Nobody is. We're evolving the language right now. So future people that do it are gonna do what we do right now.
Welcome to the podcast.
We're such entertainers.
You don't remember oh my god? It was like in 2012, I think, when it was like memes where there would be an ER in the middle of every word. Like hello, oh my god.
I thought we were doing Tyler Perry. I thought we were doing Medea the whole fucking time. Now I know you're talking about though, the Ermerger. Now I know what you're saying.
You thought I was just sitting here being Medea? That's a lot.
But now that you're saying
after everything I've been through, for me to just sit here and let's do the whole podcast in Medea.
Everything that you've been through. I'm biting my tongue. Let's not dwell on this point because we are watching this podcast only to shed light on the relationship between Shane, Chris, and that other guy Shane keeps calling his fiancé as if it's a word that holds any weight when there's not a wedding date in sight.
Shane's mental health at an all-time high, hosting the last podcast the whole time as Medea. But I thought you were saying, oh my god, like, okay. I can't roll my tongue and sound like a little, but, my god. Now that you're talking about it, it's great, because now I get to appreciate it on another level, because it's that stupid animation. Oh my god.
Yeah, oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Nice. Oh yeah.
And not supposed to be triggering to people like Chris with GERD. Actual GERD, which is a health problem.
Yeah.
Oh
which is where you burp.
In case you
and it firms up your mirth and it hurts.
In case you hadn't word associated it yet, now you can feel mildly offended if you want. Ermagerd.
Here's Shane, Chris's friend/boss, letting us all know about Chris's medical condition. Now, did Chris already disclose his health status on this show and I missed it? Maybe. If not, I don't know why Shane is volunteering that info. And before a small minority of people leave a comment to tell me Shane talking about Chris's health is no big deal, I will say this. When you let people get away with saying the small things, don't be shocked when in the future they start to talk about the big things.
Hey guys, welcome. We're rolling. Welcome back. Welcome back to whatever the hell this is. We honestly don't know, but we're in Colorado and we're Ermagerd. We're in Colorado.
I don't think you can be oh my god.
What?
You said we're oh my god. What does that
Why
mean?
not? Why not? Now you can. Now everyone moving forward can say, I'm so Ermagerd.
So what's going on today?
Wow, geez, ready to leave?
Well, no, I just think we need to wrap up the oh my god.
Rylan, we all thank you.
Hi. Okay, first of all, welcome back. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the show so far. This is episode 6, right?
Yeah, it's crazy.
I feel like we're in a good groove. Like, I don't really get as nervous anymore. I feel like we're just free-flowing, getting a little more offensive every time, and not worrying about it.
I'm getting too comfortable, where, like,
Yeah.
I feel like, because I really like you guys, and I get so excited to talk to you, and I like, truly forget about everything else, and we just talk about stuff, and there are times when, like, we're done, I'm like, That I shouldn't have said that.
So last episode, I don't remember if I showed it, so I'll show it here. Chris said that he had a panic attack.
Kind of always at least a little anxious. I had an anxiety attack after the last podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Please note, Chris's own body is telling him something is wrong with the situation he's in. And the reason why I'm pointing this out is we can all clearly see the signs, even through Shane's love bombing, that Chris is in a bad situation. Chris has a boss who is overstepping his boundaries, and Chris seems to feel as though he can't speak up for himself. Now, if any one of us were to pull Chris aside now and explain to him why his body is warning him, he would tell us we're way off base. Chris will continue to think his working environment is A-okay until the scale is removed from his eyes. It's human nature. Clearly, Chris is an adult who has the same information all of us have on how Shane Dawson operates. Never mind, they've been friends, quotation mark, for 10 years. Which means, Chris, even though Shane said many times before that all his friends left him when his latest scandal happened, it would now mean all his friends left him except for you. Therefore, you willingly accepted a job offer from your scandalous friend when every other friend had the good sense to leave Shane when his true character was revealed to the masses. Let's all see how that works out for Chris.
Like, oh no, I got too comfortable.
And then I am upstairs with Rylan. I'm like, did you hear what Chris said?
Oh no, that's my
And then he's
nightmare.
like, I know, it was weird, right? And then I'm like, oh my god.
Okay, who here is surprised that Shane and Rylan are talking behind Chris's back? Right, just what I thought. No one. Nobody is surprised, Chris. Why are you surprised? It's your biggest nightmare? It should have been your biggest reality, because everybody could see it coming.
That's like actually,
And then,
actually my fear is
His
that's what's
woke
happening.
persona is falling to the wayside.
What persona?
I kind of feel like, yeah, I don't know. Are you still the woke king? Should
I
we do
mean,
like a woke test?
you-
Woke was a term they gave Chris under protest, and now they have the nerve to say he isn't woke?
I would say out of this group, you are probably the most woke. I would say that, in a way.
I would say most politically correct.
Yes.
Like, he is most in line with the values of that in which would be a correct person navigating the world. We're also projecting on Chris that he's woke. He might also just be the quietest and not screaming his opinions at all time.
For the record, I don't identify as woke.
I'm sorry, I take it back.
They made it Chris's whole identity, and now they have the nerve to say he isn't woke. As the old saying goes, they build you up to tear you down.
You all called me woke, and I said I don't identify as that in the first episode. So
Okay, Chris, I like to see that you're giving a little bit of a pushback. But it's too late. You are in the lion's den. And unless your name is Daniel, you're in trouble.
I thought you were being humble woke, though.
Just because you're nice, we trampled all over you and called you woke.
We trampled all over you just because you're nice. Ryland, don't underestimate Chris just because you think he's nice. A lot of people mistake not having the confidence to speak up for oneself as being nice. Ryland is mistaking Chris being agreeable with Chris being nice. Chris is only being agreeable because you're his boss, Ryland. Do not ever delude yourself into thinking you can trample over somebody indiscriminately without that person retaliating eventually.
Here's your work.
No, we love you, Chris. And don't ever overthink anything that you're doing.
Don't listen to him, Chris. Don't you do it. He is the Pied Piper leading you astray.
By the way, I love your shirt.
thank you.
I love the snarks and the girths. What made you buy that?
Oh my god!
it's
What? That's like a what? That's like,
I mean, I've never seen
I would
that
be
before.
so offended if somebody said, "What made you buy that?"
Yeah.
Because I fucking liked it.
Well, no, I'm just
Yeah.
curious. Where did you find that? What made you buy that? Like, what? I think it's everything.
When were you presented the opportunity to own such an amazing piece,
Yeah,
Chris?
that's what I meant.
Thank you. I was just in the mall and I walked by Zara and it was in the window and I was like, huh, interesting. I like it. And I tried it on and I was like, it fits kind of nice. And
Okay, the mystery's gone now. It's not as great anymore,
Oh.
Chris.
Yeah, I thought you were like on a safari.
I was on a safari.
It's just Zara.
Rylan shaming Chris because he shops at Zara and not Gucci. Or, as we soon find out, Coach.
That crazy.
I will say you are bringing it today fashion-wise. I mean, we always do a fashion update. Yes, you are. You're wearing something so unique, and
I
I
need
feel
a
like
haircut. I think I feel like I look terrible.
no, you look good. Oh my God, wait, this is getting sad. You look great. Everybody tell Chris how amazing he is in the comments below. Also, audio listeners only, check out the video. And if you're listening to the audio, give us 5 stars on whatever audio platform you're listening to. And leave Chris some comments on how he looks.
But all of you have really cool jackets today. I feel left out.
Chris?
What?
Do you want to run really quick to get the jacket that I bought for you that you're not wearing right now?
Oh, I forgot.
And
He forgot because he hated it.
fits the safari theme. Look at him run. Look at him jaunt.
So fit.
So fit.
Felt bad, laughed at myself.
Okay, you.
Whoa. Holy shit, you look good.
And now that we are on the topic of clothing, it was brought to my attention in the comments by many, many, many wonderful people that the infamous Gucci sweater Chris wore in the last episode was a gift to Shane from this guy over here. Yeah, this guy. I'm not even going to say his name. Now, to my knowledge, no one linked me the video or told me the title of the video where I could find this information, and I had no desire whatsoever to look up anything with this guy over here. However, YouTube's algorithm was on all your sides because this thumbnail popped up on my homepage, like right after everybody was talking about it. And so, because of that, I will show this clip.
And when it gets a little cooler, we have a... shut up. We have an official... Oh my god! My god! Gucci shirt. My god! a little bit of rainbow. My god! So for when you wear your full outfit, we wanted to make sure that Rylan matched you. Oh my god! That is so cute. Stop so we got you the sweater. Bam! Oh my, yes! Wait. Isn't it adorable? Then even when I'm not with my boyfriend, I feel close to him. Yes!
So there's that.
Turned him
Wow.
into a Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Thank you.
No, you're giving me like SoundCloud rapper. Or do you know what I mean? Like little Peruvian. Okay, let's do a quick fashion update. Jared, you're wearing something I picked out for you. This is a nice little moment.
Yeah, definitely. It's from the closet.
I was gonna say the fashion thing is the gayest thing you two do. Like, we're getting ready to do the podcast, and Shane's like, "Okay, Jared, let's go upstairs."
As a straight,
I walk upstairs.
as a straight man, why can't a straight man be fashionable?
I'm not saying you can't.
Why does it have to be gay that me and him are concerned about looking awesome?
Listen, Jared, I'm not saying you can't be, as a straight man, concerned about fashion. I'm saying the way in which it evolves is very gay. It's like Shane's like, "Let's go up to the closet."
I made mention of this earlier in my series and it pops up a lot, so I'm going to make mention of this again. I've noticed that Rylan and Shane seem to do this thing where they use the word gay as a negative.
I'm
And
like,
then you guys like
I'm a millisecond
follow
away
each other up to the
from a
closet.
2 snaps and a twist.
And then I go upstairs because I'm going to get dressed for the podcast too. The bedroom door's closed. The closet door's closed. I walk in. Shane's like hand on his hip like, And Jared's like looking like...
Okay, first of all, you know what?
Beautiful moment between brothers.
Literally family.
Right?
Hi.
Hello.
I'm
Wow.
not saying it's actually gay. I'm saying it looks gay.
Well,
I've never been lucky enough to see this moment, so now that's all I'm going to think about when we record.
it's beautiful. And also, by the way, you are shitting on me right now, but guess who bought you that gay jacket that you're wearing? Me.
I love the jacket. Is gorgeous. We went to the Coach outlet and I was like, I love that coat. Oh my gosh, I love it. And I woke up a few days later and Shane had got it. He was like, "It's a podcast look for you." So it was very sweet. So you dressed me as well.
Rylan is letting us all know, and especially Chris, that Shane bought him a Coach jacket. Mentally, he's saying, "Take that, Chris. I'm still Shane's number one." Rylan, if you think Chris is going to back down after all the progress he made last episode, you have another thing coming.
We just didn't go like have our closet moment together, which I'm fine about. You and Jared should have those moments together.
Thank you. I'm really proud of us for breaking down stereotypes.
Yes.
Stereotypes. Breaking them down, baby.
We should
Shane, please. Stop. Moving right along.
Get
Oh my
Jared-
God, that's Caitlyn Jenner. Oh my God, Caitlyn Jenner speaks in Ermagerd. I figured that
It
out.
says we're Kermit the Frog.
She sure ordered her swimming in their pool.
Okay, what about your outfit, Shane?
Thank you, finally. No, I bet it's a typical, little jacket to remind us of the LA couch that I miss so much.
It's all coming together for me now how much Shane loved that couch. You see how Rylan is wearing the hoodie that Shane bought him? That's why he bought it. The hoodie reminded Shane of the couch that he loved, so he bought it for Ryland.
Oh my God. I feel like my mom when I give her a purse. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. These, my slides. Okay. These are leopard Balenciaga slides. Wait, because look, I bought him leopard. Bad idea. Oops. So you want to haul or what? Sorry, hold on. I'm sweating. Let me dry off my face. Whew.
And now Shane is in love with leopard print and draped his new love with something he also loves.
A little Britney Spears shirt. And you can't see from what's under the legs down is really bad.
The shoulders look really. It looks like you work out 24/7.
Wow.
Y'all, Chris does not care anymore. He's going to flirt with Shane with no cares given. This is what it's come to. And Shane cannot even contain his emotions. Look how excited he is. I've never even seen him make that face before. And he's made lots of faces. Look how bold Chris is getting. Remember, everyone, this podcast first started with Chris giggling every time Shane gave him a compliment until last episode where Chris started responding back with the flirtation. This is a lesson to us all with partners. If your significant other disrespects your relationship in front of others, don't be surprised when others start disrespecting your relationship as well. If you don't hold your relationship in high esteem, why would you expect others to do it for you?
This is so annoying.
Did you all hear Ryan just say that Chris is annoying? Don't you come in my comment section saying that this is all a joke? Don't you tell me that Ryan is just playing around for controversy? Actually, you can tell me that in the comments if that's what you think. My comment section is filled with so many people analyzing everything that's going on. I love reading what you guys have to say, so keep it up, please.
Shoulders.
My heart just stopped.
Well, no,
I'm not even kidding.
I'm saying it's annoying because he wants that compliment and then you gave it to him and now it's I'm the bad boyfriend.
I love how Rylan is explaining this to Chris as if Chris doesn't understand exactly what he's doing. Here's another fact for everyone. If you let someone know the weak areas in your relationship, don't be surprised when that someone chooses to exploit those weak areas. This is going to get very messy.
Any
Oh my
compliment.
God, no! I'm sorry.
what do you mean?
Just the
Like-
shoulders. Do you know what I mean? How it has that cut, or it there's certain blazers and jackets when I wear it. I'm like, oh, I look like I actually work out today.
Chris is trying to fuck both of us tonight. He literally, I walk down, I'm sitting down into the set and he goes, oh, every time Rylan wears blue, I just can't stop looking at him.
Rylan's not even lying. I noticed that too.
Well, I did something crazy. Yeah? I got my ears pierced. So cute. You look so good. Oh, thank you, Christopher. No, I walked in and Chris was like, are your ears pierced?
No, first he said, did you get new earrings? Did you get your ears pierced? And he can't stop smiling at you like you had a baby or something.
No, he looks so good.
He's super cute.
First off, I'm usually lost in his baby blue eyes, which
Right.
just
Oh,
that's all you
wow.
can get.
Seems like he's coming
But-
on to me.
He's literally engaged.
Oh, sorry.
My husband wants Chris more than he wants me.
No, what?
But he looks so good. You really do look good. The earrings look so good on you.
Thank you.
We have to keep an eye on this because Rylan is saying a lot right now.
It's true. Every time
Wait,
he wears blue,
this is a weird turn of events.
No, wait. Am I
Okay,
wrong?
okay, keep going.
Look in his eyes right now. When he wears blue, do his eyes not pop, and is he not the most beautiful thing you've ever seen?
Wow.
Chris.
Whoa.
But
This
that's
was
fine.
good.
Wow.
Rylan is now trying to turn the tables by making Shane jealous of the attention he is getting from Chris. This is a very dangerous game everyone is playing right now.
See?
Okay.
What do you think about Jared? Come on, Chris. Spread
Jared-
the love.
If you didn't know, Shane is setting Chris up by asking this question. Let's see how it all plays out.
I said this earlier. He's just the coolest person here by far. Like,
That's
he just
not physical.
is. No, with what he wears, his swag, his attitude, all of it.
It's okay,
Even
though.
the
I took
Burberry
that compliment
jacket.
in a high regard. I appreciate
Is that a Burberry jacket?
It looks like it because he's so cool.
Burberry?
It's sort of Burberry.
Did you know Boo?
But do you know what Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he's just effortlessly cool.
I mean, yes. But I mean, you didn't give him like a physical compliment.
that jacket, it was included in that.
Chris did not fall for Shane's bait, so now Shane has to directly ask Chris the question he really wanted to know the second he saw Chris flirting with Ryland.
You know what?
Oh my
Here's what
God.
I think. I just crooked occurred. I think the truth. I think the conspirator. I think the truth is that you, because Jared is technically more of your type than we are, that you're like nervous to give him a compliment because it's too real. And with us, you're just bullshitting us.
Please believe that this has been a long-running pillow talk conversation between Shane and Ryland. Them thinking that because Chris likes bigger men, he must be attracted to Jared because he is the biggest in the group. And because Shane fancies himself a bear, it's easier for him to think that Chris could possibly be attracted to him. Therefore, Chris, now all of a sudden complimenting Ryland, has Shane thinking Chris is just running game and is flirting for ulterior motives.
No,
'Cause
that's
I'm-
not in
'cause-
any way
Because I'm laying down at night thinking, like, why not me? You know? Well, what am I doing wrong?
That's pretty fucking gay.
Because it's not gay when me and Shane are getting dressed. Maybe possibly because what I'm saying is, dude, like, what is Chris gonna fucking notice tonight?
No,
And every
stop.
week
Like-
I take it up a bar and I'm like, let's get you the crazier Jack. Let's
Tonight
get
you were like, I'm like, yeah, this gotta work.
Jared's just dressing for Chris. Yeah, that's common when you have a crush. You like really have to think about what you're gonna wear.
Bingo! Yeah, Rylan. That's the reason why Shane has been dressing up for the podcast, for his new crush, Chris. Rylan is very perceptive of others, but he's not getting what's going on with his relationship. He doesn't see how dire the situation really is.
What's happening?
Chris is cool, he's from Peru. His Peruvian facts are fun for me and you.
Chris,
Yes.
I heard that you have a special Peruvian fact, and it might involve your co-host.
Yeah. Okay. So.
All right.
So. Are you? I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry, my ranch came.
So my Peruvian fact has to do with alpacas.
Oh.
Because alpacas are like a pretty big part of Peruvian culture.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't really know why growing up. I just know that like on every like Peruvian like merchandise, if you go there, like every beanie, hat, shirt that I ever bought from there always had alpacas on it. And they're just kind of like on everything everywhere.
I think they're on the flag.
They're see, I'm a terrible Peruvian. I didn't notice if it was. Are
Are we really debating on whether or not we think there's an alpaca on
the flag?
the Peruvian flag?
I think there is.
Now, why does Shane know the animal on the flag? Upon further information, the Peruvian flag does not have an alpaca. It is a vicuña. So I'm not going to crucify Shane here because both animals do look similar and they are part of the same camel family. But here's the thing. Before Shane met Chris, do you think Shane could have even picked out the Peruvian flag in a collage of flags? No. And now, not only can he pick out the flag, he also knows everything that's on the crest. Not even Chris knows that information. Remember, Shane just found out his supposed friend of 10 years is not even Mexican. So here's the question. Why does Shane know more about the Peruvian flag than Chris? There are 2 reasons, but I'm going to give you 1 reason this episode. You all know the times you have a crush on someone. It's not uncommon for people to want to learn everything about the object of their infatuation. Right now, we're watching all of that play out with Shane's infatuation with Chris. He's into Chris, and so he's into everything Chris.
Look.
There's no fucking way.
We'll get to that in a second.
That could be the most offensive thing I ever said if there is one. But there's no fucking way they put alpaca on their flag.
In my brain, I'm like, if it's like tiny and hidden in the middle of the thing. Anyways.
Okay, that'd be cool.
So my proven fact is that 3/4 of the world's alpaca population live in Peru, which means that there are more than 7.5 million alpacas in Peru. And since pre-Inca times, they have been and still are a big part of Peruvian culture. And yeah.
Oh.
Wow. Okay, you guys are about to be shook.
What?
I'm about to airplay something for you.
Oh, I know exactly what it is. I fucking told you. There's an alpaca on the flag.
There is.
Is that the actual flag or the crest?
That's the flag.
It says flag of Peru.
Most offensive thing I've ever said. Of course there's an alpaca on the fucking flag.
And a tree and a cornucopia, fruit of the loom, Mandela effect confirmed.
You know what's so funny is like I
like Peruvia so much more now.
I
love that.
I like Peruvia. That's offensive.
Peruvia.
I've seen the Peruvian flag so many times growing up. I know the crest in the middle, but I've never thought what's in it until just now.
This is such a cute flag.
Wow.
That's so nice.
Wow, good fact, Chris.
Now I want us all to take note of how happy Chris is and watch what happens next. Shane and his brother Jared talk about how growing up after their parents divorced, they stopped having large birthday parties. Shane, the younger brother, said around 9 years old was the last big birthday party he's had, and it's a sad memory for both him and his brother. Shane then asked Ryland about his birthdays.
Ryland, what was your birthday situation when you were a kid?
Oh, my parents went all out because my brother and I are 3 days apart, and my brother and my dad are born on the same day. So we would always have theme parties. It'd either be like a scientist would come over, and we'd have all these tables, and we'd all do scientist, like explosions or whatever. That would be really fun. Or we'd have like characters from our favorite movie, like whatever. There'd always be like themes, and then the cakes would revolve.
Did you see that?
Around the themes, but my brother and I would get different cakes, like about the.
It's so crazy that this exists. Like your life is like a movie.
Yeah.
Shane and Chris make a face at each other, bonding over the fact that they can't relate with Ryland's upbringing. They have more in common in that way, just based on how they grew up. And this is all happening right underneath Ryland's nose. Like I said before, it's the little things that grow into the big things. The topic discussed in the following broadcast may be sensitive to some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
Oh, Chris found out an interesting fact today.
What?
That the dentist can tell if you've recently sucked a dick because it leaves a bruise on the roof of your mouth.
No.
Shane makes sure to let us know that it was Chris who suggested this topic. Watch what happens next.
Well, I guess it's just because you have such a soft palate that...
I know, but doesn't the dick go towards the throat? Like,
that's a conspiracy.
Like, it's not... When I'm sucking a dick, it's not going...
Yeah, but it should, I don't know, lightly touch it. And maybe it's really towards the back.
Your teeth are right here, so if it... I don't know.
Do you want to see the video?
Of somebody sucking a dick?
No, of a dentist talking about it.
Yeah, but what about if you're eating a popsicle?
Oh, he just cracked the conspiracy. It's not just dicks.
Because I've never...
No.
I've eaten a popsicle, let's say that, but is it much different?
I saw on TikTok that dentists
gosh.
can tell if you just sucked a wiener. Is it true?
Yep, that one's true.
How?
Because you can see bruising in the soft tissue in the back.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh.
So there's a particular pattern of bruising.
Wow.
That we can tell.
I'm going to say...
I'm still curious if a popsicle does the same thing, but it looks like you really got to be jamming a motherfucker back. You know what I mean?
Well, no, I think they're not jamming it back enough. I think if you were more of like going for the deep throat, that wouldn't happen. This is like hitting the top. I don't know. This girl's bad at giving head. That's all I'm going to say.
How many days? Like, how long after you suck a dick does that stay there for?
I don't know, but my friend sent
Chris,
me that.
open your mouth. Actually, don't.
My friend said.
Now, if you watched the last episode, you can now clearly see that Chris has not learned his lesson and is still opening his mouth for Shane on command.
Sent me that, and like so many of my tias are dentists, and I'm just like, Does every one of my did they know every time I ever gave head? I'm horrified now.
Whoa.
I would like to try this. We should report back right now, right?
Go in the other room real quick.
Suck a dick and then show your mouth. Yes. I feel like that's a lot with my brother here.
Well, I'm just curious. Okay, I'll do some research for the next podcast, but I don't think so.
That would be great. Anything to get you to do that.
Oh my gosh, please.
Research for a podcast, like, whatever we got to call it.
That, Chris is doing is egging it on. Chris is an instigator.
You're kidding. I do that way more than you do that to me.
Ooh,
You're kidding.
Shane and Ryan.
Oh my God, yeah, perfect timing.
And here we see Chris prompting and encouraging a Rylan and Shane spat.
Uh-oh, here we go again. Fight with Shane and Ryland. Fight with Shane and Ryland. Shane and Ryland.
And now look, here we are listening to them argue about what is going on or not going on in the bedroom.
I can't even believe that you just said that.
What?
I would say that you get it more than the average person.
Ooh.
I don't think so. No. And that's no. Well, I feel like this is too much. Can we segue into a different topic so we can get away from this?
Funny enough, it's Shane that doesn't want to take the bait of an argument and switches the topic. I have to commend him for moving on to something else.
Addiction.
Yes.
You want to go straight in?
Wait a minute. Yes, addiction.
It kind of could correlate. Some people are addicted to sucking dick.
I would say Chris earlier. So,
wow, what a great fucking segue that was. I wasn't even planning it. It happens sometimes.
You're very good at this, dude.
You're so good at this.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
You really are.
Earlier, we were standing around the kitchen and we were like, oh, what should we talk about today? And then I was like, I kind of want to talk about addiction because I've struggled with it in many forms. Jared has had some history with it. Ryland's had some. And I said, Chris, what have you been addicted to? And you, what'd you say?
Well, sex, maybe. I don't know. Like, not officially.
You said dicks, but yes.
Oh, dicks. You're right. Yeah.
Now, I must admit, I've been called out a lot in the comments because I am not a member of the LGBTQ plus community. Therefore, I do not know the intricacies of gay relationships. This is true and it's a valid point. I could only speak from my point of view. But straight women, imagine this. Your partner complaining about you not doing enough in the bedroom, and then your best girlfriend jumps in and says, I do it all. What would you think? That's the dynamic I see going on here. It can come across as if Chris is trying to one up Rylan. As in, I can do all the things your boyfriend is not doing.
So how are you addicted to sex? Because
It's a sex addict.
Rylan drops that Chris is a sex addict because that's the logical conclusion one would come to when someone says they are addicted to sex. However, that is a heavy diagnosis to give someone all willy-nilly, especially on a public platform.
Just to confirm, you're addicted to pleasuring penises.
I mean,
not just you don't collect penis molds and nothing like that.
you don't.
It's not like a fucking knick-knack situation.
But are we using addiction a little loosely?
Rylan, God bless him, is giving Chris a lifeline here by suggesting that he's not an addict. I hope Chris takes the lifeline.
Because I think, if Chris was a true sex addict, I don't think you'd be able to focus on your everyday tasks.
No.
So I think we're saying,
look at that face. Chris's face is implying that his addiction does affect his day-to-day life. If Chris had enough wherewithal, he would have kept this particular addiction to himself. Remember, I just showed you guys a clip of last episode where Chris said sometimes he emits more than he should. It's not over yet.
Addiction, but it's things that we have obsessions with.
First of all, nobody expected Chris to say he is addicted to sex. He volunteered that information. He should have just said chocolate.
So funny that in the middle of the word is what you're addicted to.
But there are times I
like
used to edit for this new media company in downtown, And just in the middle of doing my job, I just like had to. I'm so sorry for any family listening. Please stop listening. I had to jack off. So I would run to the bathroom.
Oh, what a surprise. Shane is laughing. But really, we all knew this was coming. Chris is saying he can't even get through a shift at work. At work. That means he's editing in the office and gets up to go to the washroom. He's still on company time mid-edit. He's not even waiting until lunch break. As if that's any better. And it's not like he's editing adult movies. It's just regular stuff. Chris, why would you admit this? Did you think that the 3 men sitting around you was going to treat your confession with any sort of sensitivity? Or do you think those 3 men around you are going to go straight for the jokes?
Is that why you go to our bathroom so much?
No. But I've
Be honest,
that was a weird note, dude.
Because I've thought about it.
I like stopped listening because I was thinking about the dentist thing. Did you just say you jerk off in our bathrooms?
No,
what
that's
are we
what
talking
Ryan-
about?
Oh my gosh, Shane, where have you been? He's talking about
In the bathroom window, peeking in. What do you mean?
That's his
Listen.
masturbation station.
I'd be sitting there editing, and I'm just like, I need to come right now. So I would go.
What would happen? Would you
Whoa.
be editing and it's like a chubber comes on and you're like, okay, I got
just-
it. Or like something would
What, are you
strike your
editing?
attention?
Are you editing mukbangs?
No, I'm editing the most boring, nothing like video.
I
Like,
don't think I've ever felt that urgency to come.
that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. I don't think I'm an addict necessarily, but it's definitely higher of a drive than a normal person.
I would.
Nope. There's no going back now, Chris. You said in detail you can't even edit at your workstation without getting up to go to the washroom. You have no self-control. So obviously, you now are going to have your employer wondering what you're doing in their bathroom. And rightly so. And did you all see the look on Shane's face? You know what that look is about.
Say you're more addicted to relationships, right?
Well, yeah,
Or
because
like being in a relationship.
It's always funny to me when someone says something about themselves and yet other people correct them as if they know the person better than they know themselves. Chris said he's addicted to sex, yet Shane wants to tell him, no, you're addicted to relationships. Shane, why are you switching up Chris's words? He said it, he meant it, he's here to represent it. Unless you are also trying to give Chris a lifeline. And if so, kudos to you. I hope Chris takes the lifeline.
I don't want to have sex when I'm not in a relationship, but I don't know. I'm just, in my mind, I'm just.
How often are you doing that?
Jerking off?
Uh-huh.
Well, when I'm in a relationship, I'm just having a lot of sex. But when I'm single, like multiple times a day. sometimes.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So if you're like, is it just always at the crib in the station, or
He was just telling us it's at work too, and that's why I had asked if
well,
he's jacked
you're
off
like
in our
very
bathroom.
rarely single. So what is this like?
Also, this is a warning. You need to be careful about where you jerk off because I read an article. I didn't fully read it, but I read an article and a guy was jerking off in a plane and he got arrested and now he's a sex offender.
Yo, is this a dream? Wake me up. Shane is actually making sense. He has a good point. Imagine if Chris was caught at work doing that. What would have happened? Ladies, imagine you had the cable guy come over to fix your TV and then he asks to use the washroom and then he does that in there. What's the difference? It's people doing things that they shouldn't be doing at work. Chris, be very careful. If this is an addiction you cannot control, you need to seek help for it. Nobody wants you doing that in their bathroom. Nobody besides Shane.
What?
Wow.
I know.
Wait, in a bathroom or in the seat?
I didn't fully read it.
Okay, just to add on
don't
to
know.
that tip, something that we've talked about in the past is that's also why it's important just to pee in your car. Don't pull over and pee on the side of the road.
I think peeing in your car is still exposing yourself.
I mean, I think you can cover it better, and it'd be a lot harder for a cop to see you doing it as opposed to you peeing on the side of the road, though. You know what I mean?
Where's the weirdest place you jerked off?
Chris, don't answer.
I don't know. I mean, there's so many places.
He's like, wow.
I just.
Are you like a connoisseur of like crazy jack off spots or like?
No, I'm
Okay.
just horny a lot. Like, this is weird to me. I'm sorry.
I'm
answering.
It's not weird at all, but weirdest spot.
I
Like
don't
a
know.
Ferris wheel?
Parks. One time I realized I was near a church and that made me feel bad. It was like a parking lot. I don't know, like what
Weird. In your car, probably.
in my car. One time I did it while driving up a road that was really dangerous and I almost crashed.
So we got parks, we got churches, we got parking lots, we got while driving, while almost causing an accident. I'm worried for you, Chris. I truly am. And Rylan, you're in danger. Chris is coming for that number 1 spot. Because really, that's the only way this makes sense. Why else would an employee/friend voluntarily tell their boss/friend about his sexual escapades? Now, some of you may think this is all for entertainment, right? They're doing a show. It's all for entertainment. It's for us. But tell me, why would we need to know this information about Chris?
Okay. Okay, anyways.
So your guys' addictions, huh?
Yeah. No, that you're so brave for talking about that.
Yeah.
Wow, Chris, that's all you get for your efforts. Remember that.
Nah, that was good.
Okay.
Wait, can I add one last thing though? I am so in a relationship. I would like. I've just made it sound like I'm so horny all the time. Just want to be clear. I'm like the most monogamous human. I would. Okay. Anyways, continue.
Okay, yeah.
That's what you wanted to add? That did nothing to clear anyone's mind. Being monogamous has nothing to do with you expelling yourself in public. Now, let us all sit back and watch as these guys start to goof on Chris's addiction. Because we all know that that's what's coming.
You're driving up a hill, jacking off.
And you said you were in the last episode. You said you were a shooter, right?
Yeah.
So like you're shooting on the windshield?
No,
That's a
I had a
lot.
shirt.
It's messy in the car.
Okay. Anyways,
This is very fucking weird.
Yeah.
I don't know how to segue.
I'm
What are you
also
addicted to, Shane?
For anyone who struggles with this issue, please do not broadcast it on the internet under your legal name where future employers can look it up. Please seek help. Talk to a trusted family member or really close friend. Do not tell your boss or your coworkers. Tell a therapist, your physician, or a lawyer if you were caught in public and arrested. And I'm being serious now because look, YouTube is bizarro world, it's not real life, but we can get real life lessons. So, in real life, this is what happens when you tell your coworkers your business.
So Lizzie says, I found Chris, then stopped to buy headphones, and now he's missing.
Yeah.
And I said, don't worry about him. He's probably jacking off in the bathroom.
No.
And I had already texted Chris, where are you? And he said, the bathroom. And I said, well, Chris, I've seen the Shane Dawson podcast, and I can't help but imagine you're jacking off in there right now.
So if you haven't yet tuned into the Shane Dawson podcast, which I'm sure you have, last week, Chris told us about all the sorts of places he does that kind of thing.
And this week, Chris told me that telling you guys that is his biggest nightmare, and he doesn't want to talk about it, so maybe we shouldn't.
Oh, we can pivot.
You already started talking about it and you could have edited out the video, but you didn't.
We can pivot.
We'll pivot. We'll
Did you
pivot.
relieve yourself in the airport bathroom?
No, I
No,
didn't.
he
And
didn't.
I'm so terrified that everyone thinks I'm going to do that every time in a bathroom now.
Well,
and
no,
why did I say that?
I didn't know you were setting up lights downstairs, and I heard the bathroom fan on, and so I said, Lizzie, is he not setting up because he's jerking off? No. And she said, dude, I don't know, probably. And then I go downstairs to get the light, and he was down there, so I was like, phew.
And then Chris goes like, well, I'm going to bring it up because I need to address the situation. I was like, you don't want to address the situation because then you're doubling down
There's
on it.
nothing wrong with it. I pee outside of this house
you know
all day,
what?
every day. I'm 1 second away from jacking off outside of the house.
Jesus
so,
Christ. It's nobody's fucking business where you or how
Blow your load.
But I made it, everyone.
Actually, Chris, you made it our business when you decided to do it in public.
You did do that.
So it's a lesson
but
you learned.
It doesn't become their business because you told them that. You don't need to talk, it's
And don't become a victim to your own story because then they'll pry on you.
Yeah.
That's how the world works.
prey on you.
Prey on you? Yeah.
I want to cry and never speak again. Okay, bye.
Would jacking off help with that feeling?
No.
You need to excuse yourself.
If you gotta go beat the meat, do it right here. Who cares, dude?
I don't even mind, honestly.
Have you thought about an OnlyFans?
No, I hate my body.
Lean into the brand. Lean into it.
As we saw earlier, Shane and Rylan were already talking about Chris before, behind the scenes, and now they added Liz to the mix. Chris, now every time you go to the washroom, they're going to take a jab at you. But just know, just because I'm being blunt to Chris, I'm not giving Shane, Rylan, and Liz a pass, because the way they're acting as employers is very unprofessional as well, especially someone they also say is a friend. Imagine I'm telling you about an addiction and you guys can't wait to goof on me. I am positive Chris had a ton of comments of support underneath this video when it was uploaded. I'm sure he had a ton of people talking about how much they can relate to him. And I bet you 99% of those people were not using their government name when they commented. Chris, it is not your job to expose your current struggles to the masses just for others to feel better about themselves. That's not a fair trade-off. And everyone, I say this for a reason, because look at the addiction Shane discusses when it's his turn.
There was a situation last night because I have felt myself getting really back into my workaholic vibe, which is like all consuming. I'm obsessed with this podcast, wanting to make it perfect, wanting to edit it. There's a lot that goes into it. And it kind of started consuming my life. And then I noticed that Rylan, he was like, you're becoming a workaholic again, and I miss you, and I don't understand. And I'm trying to figure out how to balance that and not get it. Because when I become a workaholic, when I get back in my shit, it is bad. Like, I don't eat, I don't sleep, my face falls apart, I don't leave the house, I don't see anyone. Like, it's really, really bad.
Shane goes further in depth about his work addiction, followed by Jared, who goes on to speak about his drug addiction when he was younger and how he was able to recover and be many, many years drug-free. Their confessions were handled with so much care and respect. Now compare that to Chris, who was made a laughingstock. Chris, these three will set you up every single time if you let them. Do not let them. Again, I totally get that Chris is the employee in the situation and that he may feel that he has to go along with things that make him uncomfortable. Chris needs to establish clear boundaries and not fall for the okie doke. But even with all that said, I want to make it absolutely clear. It was Shane's job as the employer to make an executive decision and edit Chris's segment out of the podcast.
Okay, it's about that time.
I wonder what headline is going to be in Rylan's recap.
On today's episode of the Shane Dawson Podcast, shocking bombshells exposed. Chris.
He's addicted to jacking off.
Oh my God, you
And
glitched.
he almost crashed on a hill when he was doing it.
Oh, yeah.
Chris reveals he's addicted to jacking off and the craziest place he's ever came.
And as if that wasn't enough, we get this.
In a bombshell episode for Christopher, we find out he isn't only in love with Shane, but also has an affinity for both Ryland and Jared.
Love triangle.
There is a potential love triangle as he tries to fuck all three boys in the episode.
He let me down kindly, though, by saying I was cool.
Sad.
And now watch as they all go off the rails.
Chris might get arrested for jerking off in bad places.
Chris might join a registry soon.
In legal news.
Are you registered?
In sex offender news.
Whoa, wait.
Whoa, okay.
No.
Wrong podcast. I can't be associated with this.
Soften it.
No, that's what we learned.
Allegedly.
Okay.
Allegedly.
I think a lot of us can relate to getting involved in a situation that turns bad. But the thing is, Chris, there is over 10 years of Shane and his antics all over YouTube. Someone who you now say you've been friends with for 10 years. You accepted this job knowing who Shane is more than any one of us. Hopefully, you're still happy with your decision. And one more thing. There's more to this story than meets the eye.